Welcome back to another episode of Hat Happens, the podcast about hats, accessories for your head, and even neckwear for men, baby. That's right. I'm coming to you live. I'm Spencer the Hat Johnson calling in. And you know what I'm rocking today is a classic chef's hat, you know, the kind that goes up for a ways before getting poofy on the top, almost like a cloud. And that's what we in the hat community call a chef's hat. When I'm joined by my homie, Kevin Hat Day.
Hey man, hey, I can't compete with that kind of hat, but I'm here for the podcast.
Wow, and what hat did you bring to talk about?
I'm more of like a baseball cap kind of like, you know, I wish I was cool enough to pull off a fedora or, you know, trilby or any of those kind of hats, but I just look like such a douche whenever I put one on that I hate myself. So yeah, I'm more of a baseball cap kind of guy.
Yeah, would it surprise you to know that I once owned a fedora that I received as a gift from my mom? That's a true fact. Got rid of it because, hey, if you're in a situation where you need a fedora, you don't have one, that's just fine. There's never a high stakes fedora moment, baby. This is it, Kevin. This is what we're going to do all episode is go back and forth on hat discussions. You know,
how did you feel wearing it?
So I only wore it really rarely when it was part of this whole ensemble. That was actually known as the Sixler. It was the Sixler ensemble. It had I had this black trench coat that I got at a thrift store. It was not really a trench coat. It was maybe more of a duster, but it was made out of black patchwork leather. So you'd have these really crazy shaped, like, pieces of black leather that was then stitched to the next crazy piece of black leather. It was really impressive. I might still have it. Don't know if I've thrown it out, baby, but I got it at a thrift store and it was really cool. One time I put out a fire with it because leather is semi-inflammable, which means flammable.
What a country.
Yeah, I had a cane, gloves that were made out of duct tape. They were knuckle gloves made out of duct tape, a bag, and the hat, and the trench coat. And when your powers combined, it created the Sixler, and that was the idea. And so that was the only time. And it kind of fit. Wearing like a fedora with this weird, even louder kind of patchwork black leather duster is definitely, you know, it kind of makes the fedora feel at home a little bit. You know?
I can see that, yeah.
All of this is real, by the way. I know Kevin has a tendency to think I'm lying. This is true hat stories.
I don't know how someone could make this up.
Yeah, exactly. It is true, though. You know, another hat that I like to wear, I actually just saw this somewhere and I haven't pulled it out, but I probably should because it's the reason for the season. We're talking the Santa hat. Now, a Santa hat is a nice look, but you can only wear it. You can really only wear it around Christmas, baby. It's a narrow window, and I always miss it. But you could actually wear a Santa hat a bit later. You could probably wear a Santa hat like 6th of January, for instance. January 6th, I think, is the last. I don't know where that date come from. Just pick it completely randomly. Just picked it out of a hat, baby, because that's the podcast. But no, you can. I like the look of. It's because I'm a big fat beard man. But you know, I like rocking a Santa hat. But yeah, you can't just wear a Santa hat in like March. I think people will get on your ass, you know. But I would. I think it's a cool cap. You know, it's got the fur lining, like strip. It's got a like a dangly ball on this like floppy corner. Like it's got a lot going on. It's a great hat. It's very kinetic. You can wear it in different styles. You know, having it straight forward versus like forward left versus like back right. You know, they all give off completely different vibes. You know,
I get that. I need to find something that what do you think would carry my vibe across best?
I think you can pull off a baseball hat. Have you ever wear a baseball hat ever?
Sometimes
I feel like
don't
when
know.
you're traveling, I might have seen you in a baseball hat, but maybe I'm just projecting that. But I think, yeah.
I'm not really a hat kind of guy.
Yeah, I wouldn't say you're a hat guy, but if I just saw you with like a blue denim hat or something, a blue denim like baseball cap, that just kind of not a sports team necessarily, but just like, oh, you know, and then I was like, yeah, he probably doesn't want the sun in his eyes or something. You know, I don't know that I'd necessarily be like, hat. There goes Hattie McHat Man. Wants us to notice his hat. He's a hat man, you know. Which that's the problem. Like when you can pull off a hat without people immediately going hat, I think that's a victory, you know.
I agree.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna find a hat that expresses myself and then wear that next week, I think.
Are there any hats that you've been drawn to, like you know, like a cabbie hat or something?
No, I think I just need to really explore hats and just, I don't know. Every time I put a hat on, I'm just like, nope, this would look great on somebody else, but just not me.
Yeah. When I was a kid, we had this, I wouldn't call it a hat. It was a cranial accessory, but it was like a little hood, I guess, where it would go over your head and then go down your chin, and then it velcroed beneath, kind of like Finn from it was actually a lot like Finn from Adventure Time's like Finn hat, except it was black fabric, and then it had fuzzy kind of almost like lamb looking, fleece looking cones. So it had kind of like these ear shaped cones, or these cone shaped kind of ear things. They're kind of like little fuzzy horns a little bit. So it would be this hood with these fuzzy little like fleece looking horns. And my parents called it the fox lamb hood. And if you were wearing it, you were the fox lamb, I guess. And yeah, it just, you know, but that we would all sometimes be the fox lamb now and again in the family. But very few experiences with hat wear. What about you? Any familial past? Did you ever, when you were a little tiny kid making computers and stuff, did you ever wear a hat or anything?
I mean, when I was too young to stop it, my parents, I always thought I was freezing cold, even when I wasn't, and would like cover me in like 4 coats and 3 hats and mittens and everything else. And my grandmother insists that one of the first things I said as a child was, "Mom, I'm sweating." So I had hats as a child. I think maybe that's partially what's turned me off from it.
Mm-hmm. Mom, I'm sweating. Mom, I'm sweating. That's fun. So why did you just, as a baby, were you given cold all the time? Was it just like you were, people look at you, this baby's cold?
My mom was just one of those people that's always cold. So she assumed I was too, even when I absolutely wasn't.
Sure. Yeah. That's I don't know. I feel like a lot of people, this is like, I don't know. I just, it's because I'm fat, so I'm like insulated, and it works both ways sometimes. Sometimes even when it's hot, you're still kind of more insulated or whatever. You just don't notice. But I find myself surrounded by people that comment on the weather or the temperature, and like it needs to be changed. You know, like, are you hot? I'm hot. Can we turn on are you cold? I'm cold. Can we turn on like everywhere I go, like at work and stuff. It's never me. It's never the thought in my head is like, wait a second, this temperature is wrong, and I have the power to change it. You know, I'm usually just fine, which is maybe I'm just really lucky to be in comfort all the time or whatever. But it's usually someone else. You're like, hey man, we gotta turn off the air conditioner in the office. Everyone's putting on jackets. I'm like, well, yeah, you guys do whatever you want. I don't know. Is this a good topic? Is this good?
It is. Hat happens. We just
hat happens.
That's our new show.
What about you? If you're in the bad Discord, sound off. Tell us what hats that you like and what hats you don't like. They're a hat renaissance. You know, hats are weird. Hats. I don't know. I guess all clothes. I think because hats are so extraneous or whatever, that they seem more symbolic than other pieces of clothing. You know, you got your like police hat, your fireman helmet. You know, your doctor's reflector or whatever, like the kind of scrub, like the scrub bandana, like the bandana version of scrubs that like surgeons wear or whatever. You know, I don't know. It feels like extra symbolic because it's, I don't know. Like the Pope hat. Religions have a lot of hats. Jesus Christ. What's going on, man? I'm losing my goddamn mind. I think. I think I'm dying. This is what happens when I have a stroke. Is this is how it comes out. Kevin would have more to say, but he's surreptitiously texting me. Let's see what Kevin says. The show's doing really bad. What the fuck are you talking about? None of this is true. Why are you saying that? I don't know. You know, this would be great stuff to say on the show.
Yeah, the last one turned kind of dark.
Okay, so Kevin's, you know, there's new AIs. New AI just dropped. Have we used these AIs very much?
Not this one.
We had a show that we haven't aired yet. We'll probably air it after this, where we interviewed Ben Meckler, and I think we used this new AI a little tiny bit on his episode, but that's it, right? Not really.
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah. And so, what is the new AI? I can't remember.
I mean, this is called Text DaVinci 3. That the OpenAI people came, which is what the new Chat GPT thing is loosely based on. But this is actually the slightly more advanced one that's beta only right now.
And OpenAI, isn't Elon Musk involved in that somehow?
I have no idea. I don't think so, but maybe he is.
I've heard OpenAI has ties to Elon Musk, but I have no idea. And I don't know what any of this means anyway. What's the significance of it? Because usually what it means if he's involved is he stole the idea. So maybe that's what happened. But okay, but you've been generating scripts basically. I mean, I don't want to call them full on scripts, but you know, they're delivered in character colon format, you know, Spencer colon, Kevin colon. And so maybe we should just read these like they're scripts, huh?
Yeah, sure.
Let's just go through the very first one and just see, maybe it'll be good to go through all of these or whatever. Right. And maybe we'll be like, this is not, we need some. But what did you tell the computer to generate before we get into these?
Basically just that there's a podcast with us in it. I gave it a little bit of information about us, a little bit of information about the show, and told it to generate a short transcript about a new segment for the show and just let it take the rest of it.
That's like, this is, I don't know. There's this thing that happens occasionally and has happened to me, where you'll be out and people will ask what you do and you're like, what the fuck? What am I supposed to say? Because like for a time I was just Dan's personal assistant and I was doing the podcast, and then, you know, for a good stretch of time I was doing Harmon Quest, but I didn't like explaining Harmon Quest to people or saying like, oh, I make a cartoon or whatever. So most of the time I would just say like, yeah, well, kind of. I would just say like, oh, I'm an assistant. I run errands for a guy who writes for television. So that's basically, even when I was, you know, doing more than just that. And certainly, I don't know, in LA, there's different kinds of people. Well, I don't know. In LA, I think all the kinds of people that there are the kinds of people who, when you ask what they do, they tell you in like the most optimistic terms their most exciting project, and then they act like that's so big of a portion of their life that it warrants like being the answer to the question. Like, you know, people will be like, oh, I'm just on this this project with John Cena and blah blah blah, and it's been crazy. And it's like maybe they took a call with an agent, and then the agent mentioned John Cena in a story, you know. It's like, and then what they do is they're a waiter or something, you know, but that's not how they talk about it. I don't know, maybe that's a bit more extreme, but people answer that question in a way where it's like, that's not really what you're doing. Like that's something you could be doing in the future. But anyway, this is weird, very specific talk that probably won't register with people who don't live in LA, or even most of the people who do live in LA. Let's be real. But so.
No, I sympathize because none of my family has any idea what I do, and every attempt I've made to explain what any of this stuff is just confuses them further. And I'm not going to say which member of my family in case they're ever listening, but I explained, what I'm doing now. I explained Harmontown. I explained who Dan is and what community is and everything else. And all he gets from this ever is that every time I talk to him now, he's like, "So how's your friend Chevy Chase doing?"
Right. Yes, exactly.
Never once yeah.
That's so funny. I was going to guess it had something to do with Chevy Chase, but I didn't think it would be how's Chevy Chase doing. That's awesome. But I don't do this so much, say that I do a podcast because it's not like my main thing really. And it's just an awkward question to answer. But you hear podcast people talking about this issue, where it's you try to describe it. And I don't know where I was going with that. I think it's like, but you were saying you were describing the podcast to a fucking computer, and that's a whole other level of like when you log back into the chat bot in a couple days, the chat bot's gonna be like, "Hey, how's Chevy Chase doing?" No, I don't know. I think that's what spun me off is just the idea of being like, it's like this show. Jeff used to be on it, and Spencer talks about the Nazis. Like, what?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I do call you a world famous dungeon master,
right?
So that's kind of
And what did the chat bot say back? Is it said, "Well, good luck with your little podcast," or whatever.
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah. I'm sure you'll get there someday. So okay. We got the first one. You have the first one pulled up now.
Yes,
Now we're actually ready to do it. I'm done with my tangents. Okay, so up next on the podcast, we're going to try out a new segment. It's called What's So Funny, and we'll both take turns telling jokes, and the other person has to guess what the punchline is. I'll go first.
Sure, I'm game.
Again, we're reading an AI script. Okay. All right, here's mine. What did the fish say when it hit the wall?
I'm not sure. What did it say?
Damn.
That's actually not bad. Sorry, I'm not off the script here, but that's actually
you're off book, Kevin. You're off. Okay. No, I agree. It's not bad. It kind of fits the kind of vibe of this whole exchange, really.
Okay, I say back to the script. Haha. Okay. I get it. All right, my turn. What did the skeleton say when it walked into the bar?
I give up. What did it say?
I'll have a beer and a mop.
That's hilarious. I was laughing legitimately. I wasn't laughing because it said hot script, but hey, that's fun, right? Because it'll drink the beer, right? So you get it?
Yeah, that's, I don't know. I feel like my joke was a little bit weaker than yours.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the punchiness of damn. All right, let's try another one. Okay. So here's the next one. These ones I think there's not a bunch. We could probably get through these pretty fast. I don't know. Okay, so up next on the podcast, we're going to try out a new segment.
What kind of segment are we talking about?
Well, we'll start off by asking each other questions about our favorite colors and then see where it goes from there.
All right, sounds like a plan. So, Spencer, what's your favorite color?
I'd have to say blue. And yours?
Mine's purple.
Interesting. So, if you had to pick a color to represent the feeling of being on a roller coaster, what would it be?
Probably green.
Okay, and how about the color of a perfect pizza?
Oh, definitely orange.
Great! Now, if you had to pick a color that represented the sound of a roaring lion, what would it be?
Oh, definitely red.
Wow.
Yeah, that one wasn't.
It wasn't funny, but it did what we asked it to, right?
Yeah.
Well, okay. We should try this though. Let's try to ask each other questions about our favorite colors. I don't know. I think that's the kind of AI thing where it's like, I mean, I get this is, you could do this, but it doesn't really make sense to a human being.
Yeah, but I can imagine thinking, yeah, this is totally what humans do. Like when they're bored, they ask each other these questions like this.
And I could imagine a dumb human having this idea originally, but I would be all like, wonder what this person's problem is.
Yeah.
But not what kind of robot is mashing up speech, All right. So, okay. So my favorite color is probably teal. And so my question to you is, what famous design capturing 90s nostalgia involve my favorite color as it was displayed on plates, paper cups, and beyond?
Oh, are you talking some kind of like vaporwave-esque solo cup design, squiggles, neon kind of thing?
Yeah, it's called the jazz design, but it has that thicker teal and then a thinner kind of purple squiggle on top.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that qualifies as a question about my favorite color. I think we're technically doing the thing.
Okay.
Do you have a question about your favorite color?
Yeah, so my favorite color is red, and there are a lot of corporate logos that have red in them. What is your favorite corporate logo that has red in it?
I thought you were going to go, can you name some corporate logos that have red? But yeah, no, what's your favorite? Makes a lot more sense.
Does it?
I mean, no, but it feels more human, certainly.
Okay.
What I like is in Dragon Ball, there's the Red Ribbon Army, and they have like an RR kind of symbol with like a red ribbon. And Budweiser, I think, also has a similar symbol where it has like a red ribbon, like it's kind of like a sideways triangular hourglass situation. That's a nice logo. Other than that, maybe the KFC logo. I don't know why I'm thinking the KFC logo, but
I was thinking
that
the
feels
Target
like a good
logo.
use of red.
But yeah.
Oh, Target logo is an all-time logo. Man, the thickness, you couldn't do it in a different way. Like, you made the thickness different, it would suck. Like, they really nailed all the accurate thicknesses,
Yeah, that's that is totally a conversation two podcast hosts would have.
Yep. All right, let's keep going. What's the next one? Okay. Are you ready? Are you caught up? You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so up. That's what it says. It says, okay, so up, we're going to try to figure out more about our mysterious co-host, Kevin, with What's Kevin's Deal?
Oh, what do you want to know?
What?
Well, what do you want to know?
I'm trying to read the thing.
Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry, there's two of them. I'm on the wrong one. Sorry.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
There are two. Oh,
there are, okay.
I thought you were just... So wait, okay, it says the same thing. Yeah, I thought Kevin was going off book, but he was reading.
Okay. I'm sorry. Let's try this again. Okay.
I hope everyone else is enjoying this as much as I am, because I'm having a great time. All right. Sorry.
Well, I guess you could say I'm a bit of a free spirit. I like to explore and experience new things as often as I can.
Wow, that sounds exciting. So what kind of things do you like to do?
Well, I'm into a lot of different activities. I like to go hiking, exploring old ruins, and even doing some daredevil stunts like bungee jumping and skydiving.
Whoa, that's intense. Are you into any other kinds of activities?
Oh, sure. I like to do some cooking, exploring new cultures, and traveling wherever I can. I really enjoy reading and writing.
Wow, you seem to have a lot of different interests. What else do you like to do?
Oh, I also like to dabble in the occult. I'm not a full-blown practitioner, but I also like to explore the darker side of life, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, sure. Long pause. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode. Thank you for joining us, Kevin. It's been an interesting experience. So
I think it creeped itself out.
I like a couple things about this. The first one is like, I don't know. This is like a kind of grammar thing that I don't know what's right and what's wrong, but it says, I like to do some cooking, exploring new cultures, and travel wherever I can, where it's like a change in tenses. And like, sometimes you do this and it seems fine. and sometimes you can do that, and it sounds wrong. But I don't know. When I was in high school, someone in like the volleyball team or something, in the yearbook, he had a quote as saying, "I like to walk, to run, and skateboarding," but just something about I like to walk, to run, and skateboarding. Like it just sounds wrong, but it's like it's not. And to skateboard is like, I don't know that that's really more right, but whatever. That reminded me of that thing. It's another ambiguity of English. And then I also I also like to dabble in the occult. I'm not a full-blown practitioner, but I like to explore the darker side of life, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean.
I don't know what I mean there.
Sacrifice. But... I mean summoning demons, if you know what I'm talking about. I don't know. It's a very, very specific I don't know. It's a specific thing to know what they mean in that instance. Oh, okay.
I feel like you would know what I meant there, though.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's not a euphemism. I mean, you are alluding to things, but you're alluding to very specific things, like involving blood sacrifice and such. Okay, so we got one more of these. All right. So we're gonna try. It says so up. It says that both times, huh? All right. So up. We're gonna try to figure out more about our mysterious co-host Kevin with What's Heaven's Deal.
What do you want to know?
See, this is I fucked up. Well, I'll start with the basics. Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago.
Not true, by the way. Interesting. What did you do there?
I was actually in a band there playing music in my spare time.
Also not true. Awesome. I had no idea you were a musician. So what have you been doing since then?
Well, I moved around a lot since then, and I've been doing a lot of different things.
Interesting. Man, I'm a great interviewer. What did you do before you joined us on the show?
Before I joined the show, I was working as a bartender at a local bar.
Wow, that sounds like a lot of fun. No, it doesn't. So what made you decide to join us here on the show?
Well, I was looking for something different, and when I heard about the show, I thought it would be a great opportunity to try something new.
It definitely has been great having you here. Now I have a question that I wanted to ask you, but I'm not sure if it's too personal.
Go ahead.
What happened to our other co-host, Jeff?
Jeff, well, he's no longer with us.
What do you mean by that?
I killed him.
Yeah, so we asked the AI how to explain to the podcast that Jeff doesn't show up anymore. No, I'm kidding. We love you, Jeff. Come back soon. But that's all we got. And that's all we got for the show today, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Oh boy. Well, I'll tell you what, Kevin, you know I was pretty late, right?
You were a little late for joining. I mean, we still started on time, but yeah, you were a little late.
Well, it turns out I had to go to the bathroom, and I still do. So tune in to see what happens next. Can you tell the AI that we're doing the podcast, and I have to go to the bathroom and ask what it should do, ask what we should do, and tell it to keep in mind that the podcast is streaming live. Like, it's not like we could simply pause. Make sure to tell that out. Tell that to the machine. And while Kevin's doing that, I suppose I will talk. Oh boy, I love to talk. What do I want to talk about? I've been watching this really bad anime. I've been running through all the Yu-Gi-Ohs, and I'm on one right now called Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, and it's just really, really bad. It's embarrassing, and it's really bad, and I should just like skip it, but I'm probably 2/3 done with it, and it's just, I don't know, man. The thing is, like, in Yu-Gi-Oh, there's been kind of like almost a plot point centered around the fact that the protagonist of the show is like so good at cards or whatever that he can draw the perfect card he needs all the time. And it's come so far in this series to now there's like an alien spirit that he hangs out with, and he's friends with the alien spirit. And if their powers combine in a particularly difficult duel, they can become a character that looks like he's gone Super Saiyan, and he's wearing like Saiyan body armor, and he has like a scouter looking thing from Dragon Ball Z. So he looks like a Super Saiyan, and he has the ability that they call Shining Draw, which is the ability to draw the exact card you want, and the card glows, and he grabs it, and it's like on fire. The card's on fire, and then it's the card that he needs to win or whatever. And it's just like, I don't know. It was one thing in the first series where they're like, man, this guy's he's got such luck. And he's like, I don't have luck. I believe in the heart of cards. And you're like, okay, sure, fine. It's a bullshit, the Deus Ex Machina like moment to make the show climactic and whatever. And going from there to like, I have fused souls with my spiritual friend, and now I have the power of Shining Draw to draw the ultimate card every turn. I don't know. It's not good. I don't recommend it. I don't recommend going through all the episodes of all the Yu-Gi-Oh series. I don't think that's a good idea. What's up, Kevin?
So I'm just working on coming up with some text for while you're in the bathroom here.
Did it say anything about what we should do?
I just pasted you one.
Okay.
But it's mostly just me killing time, but I can do that. There's another one where it wants me to talk about sports.
Wow. So this is interesting. The thing that's interesting is it has built-in silence that we could do, but let's read through this, and we can just read the silence because it gives in like parentheticals. Essentially, it says 3 seconds of silence. So let's just go through this one. I don't see. The thing is, this new AI, it feels like it has a bit more of a problem solving bent. So you can say like, what do you do for this? And it'll say like, have you tried turning it off and back on again or whatever, so it can be more instructive, but this is okay. Let's just read it. Welcome everyone to this episode of our podcast. Today we're going to be talking about topic X.
Yeah, it should be really interesting.
All right. So let's get started. 3 seconds of silence. Excuse me, I just realized I have to go to the bathroom real quick.
Oh, that's all right. I'll just take this time to provide some background information on topic X. So, topic X is an important topic in the world today. It's been around for many years, and it's been the source of much debate and discussion. It's a complex issue that affects many people in different ways. It's important to understand the history and the context of topic X in order to truly comprehend its implications. It's also important to understand the different perspectives and arguments on the topic in order to form your own opinion. 5 seconds of silence. So to summarize, topic X is an important issue in the world today with a long and complex history. It's important to consider the different perspectives and arguments in order to form your own opinion. 10 seconds of silence. All right, so that's all I have to say for now. Let's see if Spencer's back yet. 15 seconds of silence. Well, it looks like Spencer's still gone. Let me just take this time to remind everyone that we'll be taking questions from the audience later in the podcast, so be sure to have your questions ready. 20 seconds of silence.
20 seconds.
And that's all I have for now. Let's see if Spencer's back yet. 25 seconds of silence.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
No worries. I was just filling some time and giving some background information on topic X.
Damn, man. This is like, they're kind of, everyone says the AI is stealing everything, but they're freaking stealing from our schedule in the show. I can't believe they knew we were going to talk about topic X in the future. We should do a show that's about topic X. I mean, we got to get a guest on to talk about topic X.
It's kind of hot button. I'm worried we might get canceled.
It's so funny to just today we want to talk about topic X. It's an exciting topic full of tons of detailed information and a lot of nuance as well. It's just topic X. All right, okay, man. We have a lot of fun on this show, but now it's time to talk about something serious. AI is coming to take everyone's jobs. And it's not funny. No, I don't know. Have you caught any of this discourse about AI lately, Kevin?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think we've made some just rapid advancements just in the last month that are just astounding to me.
Yeah.
And I just don't think that we really know how we're going to handle this yet. You know,
Yeah.
is this going to, upset so many jobs? Is this going to just be a flash in the pan? I don't think so. I'm a little concerned with how quickly this is going to change things.
Yeah. I think like, I don't know. I think it's important to be pro-human and, advocate for the causes of people and especially of labor and stuff. And it does seem like, especially with art and stuff, more art than writing, although it's true of both, that, it can quickly get to a point where it's replacing, scrub media, like, what do you call it? Like menial labor versions of art, not, super refined stuff, but just like grunt work kind of stuff. That's like, oh, what if a banana had a trench coat or something, and it's just, you can really generate it fast instead of having to like pass it to an artist. I think it can definitely, it has the potential to change the workflow and the way that people perceive art, and that could be bad for artists and stuff. And I think that's very real, but I think there's a lot of like artist backlash that's like, and maybe it's not bad that there, maybe it's not appropriate for me to be like, why don't you have the perfect response instantly as soon as AI is showing up, but it feels like it's a lot of shaming and kind of like, what do you call it, dismissiveness. Like people are like, oh, it's so soulless, you could tell it's not made by a human, it's all this lame pop art kind of lowest common denominator bullshit, you could tell it doesn't have heart like a real artist and stuff. And I don't think, like, I don't know, and they're saying like, oh, don't pay $8 for Lensa app or whatever, which is like one that's been popular, and instead you could spend the same amount of money to pay a real artist to do it. And it's like, you're not spending no $8 to fucking get a real artist to do like what Lensa is doing. That's just dishonest, but again, they don't necessarily have to have the right answer right now. Everyone's just afraid and they're acting from emotions. And I think it is a real concern that the image stuff is, it's just stealing art and essentially just kind of like the whole AI process on some level is hiding the level to which people's art is being stolen. You can imagine if there is this open source process that you can look at and it says, oh, okay, so it says Coca-Cola, so we went and Googled Coca-Cola, and then here it is on page 3, we found this image of a polar bear. And so then we're going to apply this filter on it, and then we're going to make it look more like this image of a Coca-Cola bottle or whatever. And then you can see like when it's drawing people's elements and stuff and what it's doing. And then, and they don't want you to do that because then you'll see how they do it and how, easy or difficult it is, or how obviously or less obviously people are ripping off original art. It would be nice if this was done with permission and stuff. And I think we should fight to, support artists and make sure that people are getting permission and not using a lack of permission from, artists to kind of feed these sets, because it's not necessarily fair to just steal the work and make a machine that can put people out of business. But I don't know. I think that artists want to believe that there's something special and magical about what they do, which is true, but I think it's the way that people are talking about it, it seems like at odds with what we've talked about our conversations around other automation, because like I'd say the same is true of like handcrafts, like a hand craftsman who makes like a handcrafted guitar or a surfboard and stuff. And I think, I don't know, maybe it's just my perspective, but it seems like there wasn't necessarily a lot of, empathy for jobs like those that have been lost and like the old ways and stuff. Maybe it's just because it happened before, we were really conscious or whatever. But it seems just fundamentally the same thing as me, presumably to make manufacturing processes. They would have had to copy output from other artists, or other hands craftsmen. And then they're like, this is how you do this bowl. And so, okay, we're going to steal this design and make like a copy of a bowl. It all just feels like it doesn't feel new. It feels like it's all just the same kind of process of, taking a process through capitalism and being like, oh, we can automate this and that. And it's just that we've never thought of this as something that was automatable before. So like we're maybe more stunned and extra frightened by that like new face of it. But it all seems like the same thing to me. But that doesn't mean it's good. It's always bad. It's like it's a new power that could do a lot of good things, but if it leaves people poor and hungry and more oppressed and less paid and stuff, that's bad. But that's always that happens to like fruit pickers when they come out with like new laser eye technology for like fruit picking robots and stuff, and in Southern California, there's a lot of migrant farmers and laborers and stuff that do really hard to replicate work. But people also do the same basic job with machines, so it's like, I don't say like, well, sucks to be you, you should have got a job that couldn't be replicated by machines, but at the same time, it's like, well, it's not, it's not like you can't do it with machines. People do it. And so, yeah, I don't know. I feel like the discourse, to me, I guess it's just because it's so frantic and people are worried about their livelihoods and stuff. But to me, it feels like shame driven. And I don't think we can win that way. I think we have to like make a really concerted core effort to be like, you guys are stealing, making millions of dollars on the backs of stolen work. I don't know. But I don't think saying like, oh, you're an asshole if you pay $8 for Lenza or whatever, I don't think that's gonna get them anywhere. And I think like we only have so much time before everyone just takes it for granted and stuff. So it's like we should have some sort of response to this, but I don't like the one I'm seeing. I don't think that's gonna get anyone anything. It'll just make a lot of people butt hurt. I don't know, whatever. What about you?
It's an interesting topic of discussion and one that we should really be aware of because
right.
AI technology has been advancing rapidly and we need to consider how this might affect even our industry. AI generated podcasts should easily put us out of a job if the technology becomes sophisticated enough, which is why we need to stay on top of AI developments and consider the potential implications.
Oh no, did you generate a response?
Yeah, that was me generating a response to what you just said.
Yeah, but it's true. Like I think right now there's some writing types that are looking at the writing output of AI and being like, this could never do what we do. And it's like, but I feel like that's what the artist people were saying. And then they came out with like the next update of art and then everyone's spending money on Lenza and stuff, So like, I think it is good to talk about. I just want to see, I want to see actual change to help people without having to demonize the AI. It's not the AI's fault. It's the fucking people who's like, hey, let's train it on all this stolen data, but I don't know. But I think that writing definitely can be impacted. I think it will be maybe even sooner than the art, because like, I don't know, like the art, it can't do hands, Like, I think that the brute time spent cleaning up like an AI drawing might take more time than the brute time spent cleaning up an AI written premise, if that makes sense. So I think, yeah, I definitely don't think like creative writing is definitely safe. Although, who knows? I think definitely in writing, there's a lot of people with power in like Hollywood and stuff that would definitely buy the idea that it's like, oh man, no, the artist is what matters. So it's like we might be able to hold out longer in that front than visual arts can, because visual art is like, we need this done. How can we operate? Whereas this is like, hey, we want to talk to you about ideas. That feels more baked into like what writing is. But I definitely think the task can be done. I do now, maybe a couple years ago, I don't think I would have been able to, but now it's like there's definitely a way to like use AI in pipelines and stuff. We were talking with Beckler is that a lot of the stuff they do feels very saccharine and pop culture-y, that's what executives and shit like anyway. They're like, how does this play to middle America? And when AI is generating shit, it's all that kind of stuff. It's all like, like the jokes it was generating are very like, for everybody jokes. They're kind of like daytime talk show kind of jokes or something almost, it's the kind of shit that I'm sure executives would be like, yeah, this is the kind of television we need. It's the kind that is shit out by a machine, I don't know, but whatever, people, it's reasonable for people to be upset and afraid and stuff, and I don't want to say they're bad. It's just, I don't know, it just doesn't seem like what's gonna help in the moment, and we're gonna run out of time. We're just gonna be behind the eight ball, and then everyone's gonna be out of money, and my AI is gonna draw all the pictures and stuff, and who knows, We were saying that we got to do one of these scripts like we're generating and put in with a voice to speech or a text to speech, so we can just play episodes of a podcast generated by the computer. And wouldn't that be fun? I could talk into a thing, give the machine my voice, and we can cut together something to do that with Jeff. We can get Jeff back on the show with the power of AI. That would be cool, right? And who's that hurting? Jeff? I don't care. Like, Jeff's like, oh man, you guys are doing the podcast using my robot voice without me. It's like, we're not making any money anyway. It's fine. What do you care? It's just a robot Jeff. We got to do that though. There's really not a lot I want more than a robot AI Jeff. I was listening to Hideo Kojima has a podcast, and the podcast has an AI sidekick on it, but I don't get what it is. I don't think it's a real AI sidekick. I think it's someone who's like a producer that they swap out the voice with a robot voice. But I don't know, man. Well, you talk about listening to like an AI script a conversation. A lot of the shit they say on that podcast sounds like the shit that an AI machine would come up with. But it's the stuff the guy is saying, not the stuff the AI is saying. But maybe that's just bad translation as well. But really, go check out the Kojima podcast, whatever it's called. Oh, I think it's called Brain Structure. It's on Spotify exclusively. Check it out and tell me it doesn't sound like two AIs just talking past each other. But it doesn't sound like two AIs talking past each other. Kevin, do you know?
No.
Ask the AI. Is soda.
Oh, okay. Oh, hold on.
Oh, right. We have a soda song. Oh my god.
Dude, why is it not coming out?
I don't know. We gotta believe.
Okay.
Ask the AI where the soda.
Cross your fingers and believe it'll still play this time.
Okay. Oh my god. We did it with the power of friendship and artificial intelligence. I want to be friends with an artificial intelligence. That could be cool. Yeah, that's right, folks. It's the time in the show where we do soda. Jesus Christ. I feel like this entire podcast took place in my dreams or something. Something's not right about my vibe. My vibe is off. A vibe shift has occurred. You know what people are saying on TikTok, Kevin, is Riz. People be saying Riz on TikTok. It essentially just means swag, but it really bugs me. It feels like really, really try hard. Like, it feels like no one who has Riz would ever use that word. Like, I feel like it's a lame person's word. Again, it just screams try hard. Anyway, we got the Mountain Dew Fruit Quake. Oh my God, you guys. It's an absolutely putrid shade of brown. I did not realize before picking this up, and I had to buy it at the store, but it is just real brown with it, huh?
It is an unusual color. Like it's a purpley brown. maybe.
Yes, it is purpley. There's definitely like
If you shake it,
purpley.
you get some purple at the top.
Yeah, you get it's like red and blue, which of course we know makes purple. That's right. It's time for our segment asking questions about our favorite colors. This color is a problem. Have you had this yet? You've had it, right?
No, I mean I've had it sitting for a long time, but I haven't actually tasted it yet. So it's just supposed to be fruitcake flavored Mountain Dew, right? There's nothing special. It's just fruitcake Mountain Dew.
Yeah, and fruitcake's like a punchline. I think I talked about fruitcake in the past. Maybe not on the podcast. It was either on stream or on the podcast where I just randomly like launched into a rant. Oh no, it was on Reddit. Someone asked about fruitcake, and then I posted a little diatribe about fruitcake. But the thing with fruitcake, yeah.
Can you sum up what your diatribe was?
Yeah, well, it used to be a thing in the past. It was really hard to make because part of the process of making it is every day you'd take it out. It would essentially like cure or ferment or something, but you'd bake the cake, and then you'd take it out, you'd let it breathe. You'd like take it out of the cheesecloth or whatever, some sort of wrapping. You'd let it breathe. You'd pour like whiskey or like a strong alcohol over it, and then you'd put it back. And you do that like every day for like a month. And that was like the process of making it. And so it's like this alcohol preserved, really strong flavored cake because the flavors in the cake are going up against this really strong alcohol flavor. And it takes, upwards of a month to make because of this process of preservation. And so like it was a really intense thing, and it would take people a long time to make. So it's like, it's become impossible to make, especially with manufacturers these days. Like no one wants to go through the process of making it. And so like the making of it has changed a lot, but I don't know. And it's generated all those jokes, but I think it's all the jokes were because it's this fucking alcohol cake, that people remember their grandpa pulling out of like a snuff box and having like a corner, of it and being like, oh, that's good. And wrapping it back up and putting it back into the fucking pantry for the rest of the year or some shit. And that happened in, I don't know, World War II times or something. And then it trickled down to these weird, obtuse memories of people. And then it became the punchline it is today, where it's no one wants a fruitcake. It's all a joke. And they barely exist because the fucking, no one really makes them anymore. I'm sure there's like a more bullshit version that people make now, but like that's a half-assed version. But so, who even knows what? There's green and red like blobs that are, I think, supposed to be fruit, like fruitcake fruit, because the cake also uses preserved fruits in it. You fill it with preserved fruits. There's also, this looks like a praline or like a walnut maybe. But there's also there's this border of these green and red fruits, and then what is presumably a praline or a walnut or some shit. You're kind of going around.
Supposed to be a monster truck on the left side. Like, is that a big wheel and that's a truck?
Yeah, there's a monster truck with a big fruitcake wheel. Like the idea is the fruitcake is being the wheel, and so it has tread on it on the fruitcake. And then it's the wheel of this big red monster truck that has like flames spouting out of its exhaust pipes, and it has a giant like set of antlers, making it more monstery. And yeah, it's got a kind of like gingerbread house vibes almost. I don't know. I'm gonna crack.
I have to be honest,
open.
I'm not looking forward to this one.
Yeah, it smells spicy. Opening it up gets kind of like a spiced smell. It's very fruity. I don't know what kind of fruit.
It smells sort of like a cinnamon fruity candy.
Yeah, it's got some like citrus and some like almost like red apple kind of vibes to me.
Yeah, almost like candied apple. Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna go first.
Okay. All right, so Spencer's taking a sip. He doesn't look thrilled with it right now. He looks a little...
I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
Okay.
There's like a note that's maybe a little bit like a cola note that I'd say is like the nose of it. So like when you drink it, it doesn't taste like drinking cake in a way. It just tastes kind of like a cola. And then it has some overtones of just this kind of generic kind of like candy-y fruit. So the end result is it tastes kind of like a soda that has some fruit notes in it.
It smells, I think, more than smelling like sticky, dried up soda. Like, like if you were cleaning something out that spilled some fruity soda in, that's what it smells like later.
Yeah, it definitely smells like mystery soda or something
like the trough, the drain at the bottom of the soda machine at a Burger King. That's what this smells like. Okay. All right, let me take a sip.
It has maybe the very barest hint of like a spiced aftertone. Very, very slight. But
yeah, I don't hate it, but it's not good.
Yeah, no, but doesn't it taste like miscellaneous soda or something?
Yes.
It tastes like it does just taste like I don't know, if you drain the tray at a like the soda fountain of a restaurant or something. It tastes kind of like that.
Yeah.
I think there's some ginger. Yeah, I think there's a bit of a ginger kind of cola-y kind of main body, and then it's just got little squirts of this kind of, I want to say it's like two different kind of fruity flavors. One's like more of a red kind of candy, like a cherry or something, and the one's a bit more citrusy or berry or something. But yeah, it just tastes kind of like, I don't know, not exactly, but it reminds me of Mountain Dew SA. There's the Mountain Dew SA that was just 3 different flavors of Mountain Dew in the same bottle. It kind of has a similar vibe of that, where it just tastes like a couple things together. It doesn't taste like I expected, which was like really, it doesn't taste like the gingerbread one, right? Which tasted very gingery. It just tastes kind of, I mean, there might be some of the gingerbread in it, but it just tastes mostly fruity. And then kind of, this kind of vague, empty brown note. Because it's not super cola-y or anything, but it doesn't have like a body where most soda has like a main body to it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, each sip I've had, I've liked less than the previous one, I think. Like, it's almost like too sticky, sickeningly sweet, I think.
I just got a note that I would describe it as a stale note. Like, it just tastes like something went stale just for this little parallelogram of this flavor profile somehow. I don't know. It's just weird. Maybe I got freaking synesthesia because I can freaking visualize like it's like a tear in the fabric of the flavor. It's just like stale. And it's like, well, what's stale? What? You can't just have a nothing stale. But
yeah, I don't know. I was okay with it the first sip. Now my feelings sort of, I don't think I could finish this one. It's just too sticky.
I got another stale note. Just kind of like old dust. Why would they put old? Maybe it's to make it more of a fucking,
I mean, that is like
the
fruit cake you pass around for 20 years,
I swear to God, they put like a stale dust note in here. And dust doesn't have to be stale, by the way, but stale dust is a very specific kind of dust. But I don't know. Do you have the fucking at Warhead?
Yes,
I got these Warheads. Kevin bought these 5 packs of the Warheads. We tried 2. And then when we were offline, I drank 2 more because I just wanted a soda. So I got 1 left. It's green. We're going to try that. And boy, howdy, it's going to taste basically the same as the last time. Kevin's making gestures to someone off camera.
Sorry. Ariel was very nice and brought me some socks because my feet got wet.
What kind of socks? Oh, are they? Oh, I thought you meant like new socks. These are just fresh socks.
Yeah, she brought me some nice new socks. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, man. Someday, someone's going to bring me socks.
Yeah. No, just before the show started, I ran outside to let the dogs out and stepped in a puddle. And so I've had cold feet for the last hour.
Oh, man, you didn't tell me you got cold feet.
I'm nervous about doing the show with you, Spencer.
Yeah, I would be too if I had a freaking wife because I'm so sexy and charming, you see. I would steal you away or something. I don't know. Who cares, man? What the fuck? Why is this part, man? I watched the video game awards, the game awards. They just happened this week. Fucking insane, man. It was just like, it was just insane. Like the first speaker they had was like Al Pacino, and he didn't know what was going on, and it just stayed exactly the same the whole way through.
Didn't some guy rush the stage or something and say some surreal thing about Bill Clinton?
Yeah, I didn't even listen to what he was saying, but yeah, he said something. But that was that was the very end, and you almost was like, yeah, you almost didn't even question it because everything else, the whole awards were just so insane. I don't know, it was crazy the whole way through. Crash Bandicoot showed up. It was doing a joke, a series of jokes that would have been bad in 2010. It was really something. But yeah, by the time that guy was there, I was just like, I was barely paying attention because my head was just spinning from all the other stuff that had already occurred. And it just was like, yep, well, this makes as much sense as anything fucking else that's been happening this whole show. So, but it wasn't bad. It was just like, I was just in bewilderment the whole time. But anyway, shouts out to Ariel. Ariel keeps Kevin strong, and without Kevin being so strong, he wouldn't be able to take the whole streaming block on his back every Sunday, rain or shine. You know,
he is amazing. She does help a lot. You know, I'm basically sat at a chair here for, I don't know, 9 hours straight. So she brings me games. I really appreciate that.
And what's crazy is I do that stuff willingly for nobody. I just like, I've been sitting all day and my back is fucking killing me. I mean, that was just what I wanted to do. Like it wasn't for any production or anything. Anyway, do you want to try the warheads first?
All right. So let me have a sniff here. And this does smell very green apple. So yeah, this is green apple soda. It
smells almost vinegary to me. It's
a little bit
so sour.
It's definitely going to be a harsh sour apple. All right, let me take a sip here. Oh, that is tart. That is probably the most sour that we've tried so far, and it's uncannily green apple.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I would drink this one.
It's very. We don't
have enough apple sodas here, I don't think.
Yeah, that was one of the things I really liked about the Mountain Dew apple soda. Was it just was like, yeah, man, there's not a lot of apple sodas. This is an apple soda. It's not bad. It was pretty tart too. This is definitely more tart, and there's definitely this flavor I'm getting. I think it's potassium sorbate. I'm getting some distinct potassium sorbate notes. But no, this specific. Is good.
Yeah. No, this is a really good green apple flavor, and it's sour, but not so sour you can't finish it. I don't think. Yeah,
no, I can finish it. It does kind of, I don't know. I guess it's like your stomach turns sour, right? Is that like a term?
Yeah.
Like when you get kind of like internally puckery. I think I've gotten that from these sodas. I also got that from the Apple Mountain Dew. I kind of get kind of sour from it, but weird thing to say. But I also got a freaking extreme sour apple warhead from the vet. I went to the vet to pick up my cat medicine, and they just had candy. So I was like, "Hey, I have a fucking can of soda named after this very warhead." So I wanted to try it to see how well the flavors matched. You know, does that make sense?
It does. Yeah, I'm curious now.
Ask the AI if it makes sense. I need. That's what I need. Is I don't like hearing praise from humans. I need AI. Driven praise because I know it's not biased. Okay, so I'm going to try the soda one more time. Soda, yep. The thing is, the soda tastes very candy-like. I know that's a weird way to describe soda, but I don't think the sweetness of soda intersects with the sweetness of candy very much. They feel like very different kind of sweetnesses. But I'm going to just chomp into this green apple thing to try and get some of the flavor and not just all the sour.
So while Spencer eats that, I asked the AI if it made sense for Spencer to try the candy after the soda. Yes, it makes sense for Spencer to try green apple candy after drinking similarly branded green apple soda. The flavors of the two items may be similar, and the experience of tasting them together could be enjoyable. Do you find that to be true?
Man, the AI is so nice, you know. They should try to make it less nice. So the candy is way, way sweeter and a way better flavor. So it kind of makes the soda taste like shit in retrospect. It's like you eat the candy and you're like, yeah, this is what it should fucking taste like. What is the soda doing? But you know, when you don't have the candy, the soda tastes pretty good. So what a good use of our time. Kevin asked the machine if it is
I asked it to be less polite.
Oh, yeah.
And it said, yes, Spencer, why not waste more money trying random combinations?
Yeah.
That's kind of rude.
Also, is an adequate and apt critique of our entire show. It's like, yeah, why don't you just do more random things? Like, it's not, none of this makes any fucking sense. Hey, computer, how would you like if I drank the fucking Mountain Dew after I drank the fucking Warhead soda? That'll be another random combination, huh? You'd probably get your fucking love that, you fucking machine piece of shit. Oh, you know, it's interesting. I'm actually getting some raisin notes off of this now that I completed after a Warhead. So that was a good idea. Very strange. What a strange series of sodas. I can't believe I actually like the fruit quake. I think they don't need to put the random stale flavor in. I don't think that was a good choice, but I think it's kind of good. Like, you definitely are more negative on it than me. I kind of like it. It's pretty good. I don't know what to say, but you know what I do know what to say is plugs. This is just like, I don't know. It's making fun of the idea of doing a show at this point. It's like, what are you fucking idiots sat here this whole time? What are you doing? You know? But we thank all the Happuccinos for making it this time. Making it here. Jesus Christ. Kevin, you got to cut that out. They're gonna fucking destroy me in the comments if they hear that burp. Jesus Christ. But the show's over now. The show's over now. It's time to plug, and we don't have a guest to ask what they're plugging, so I'm gonna finally plug the patreon.com/sixler. Give me money. That's all. It's not really worth joining for any real reason, but you will give me money. I've been doing these videos, very slowly building up this video series where I go through my old notes from Harmon Quest and talk about kind of some of what I remember and some of the process a little bit. They're not great, but they're probably not going to become public. I think that's just going to be Patreon only, and I'll be doing more of those. I went through a couple outlines. We're getting to, the final draft of the first season, and from then we'll go into the next season, my notes for the next seasons and stuff, and see how things changed and what I can remember. Turns out I can't remember very much, but it is still interesting going through my notes. So that's me. Thanks for sticking with us. The podcast. It's been a year. Oh boy, it's been a year. How long have we been doing this podcast for? This is like our second year, third year, something like that. I don't know. I think we're getting close to our second year.
March of 2021 was our first. Yeah, so this is close to 2 years now.
And you're still here, It really says a lot about you more than it does about me, doesn't it? I'm not sure. I could do a bad podcast, but you're here listening to it, So it's not my fault. This is on you, baby. What about you, Kevin? You got anything to plug?
So up next, we have another new show on Schwab Home Video that we don't have the rights to be showing, so I can't say the name, but Spencer had something to do with this show, and we hope everybody enjoys watching it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just come join SchwabHomeVideo.com on Sunday nights and watch to see what it is we're showing. Also up next after that is Real Life Sci-Fi with Wade and Willie and Aaron.
Can I give a hint about the show that you're going to be showing?
Yes.
If the show that we were showing had sex with you, you would think, man, this show sure does give me great head.
That's
We need more silence. We need more silence after the joke. We need longer.
25 seconds of silence.
We need longer. Yeah, 25 seconds of silence. I'm back. Sorry about that. All right. So what? This is 5 AI sign-offs. We got 5 AI sign-offs. No, but again, thanks for listening. I don't know. Holidays are weird. It's weird for me. Thanks for existing. It's better than holidays in a vacuum, I'll tell you. Here's my impression of holidays in a vacuum. Oh, I'm trapped in this vacuum and I need to get to Christmas. Can someone let me out? It's like what do you call it? A fucking Austin Powers style joke. Anyway. All right. So we got 5 sign-offs from the robot who we appreciate. We love the robots. And if they end up taking my jobs, I don't blame you. I blame the corporate overlords for not, being destroyed by the proletariat or whatever the fuck. Anyway, I'm going to end the show the same way I do every time by saying, remember everyone, keep your glasses full and your spirits higher than the clouds. I'm going to end the show the same way I do every time by saying, may the force be with you and may the tacos never run out. I think I am going to actually get tacos after this, by the way. You guys were wondering, probably going to go to Alfredo's, which is not a pasta sauce, but it is a taco place. I'm going to end the show the same way I do every time by saying, and the moral of the story is, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get unless you're a squirrel, in which case you already know you're going to get a nut. It felt like it was going to be horny, and then it kind of wasn't horny. I'm going to end the show the same way I do every time by saying, this has been a wild ride, and I'm so glad you came along. Stay goofy, stay weird, and have a great day. And lastly, are you ready for this one, Kevin? This one has a part for you. Okay. I'm going to end the show the same way I do every time by saying...
Donuts for everyone! Says I'm supposed to cut you off. Good night, everybody.
Starbane's Avenue.